Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions, not really living life to the fullest? What if I told you that monks, keepers of an ancient secret, have already figured out how to stop wasting life and unleash the true potential of being human? It might sound counterintuitive, but the key isn't working harder, pushing yourself to exhaustion, or sacrificing your pleasures. The real key to unlocking happiness and success lies in a deep inner change, something that's totally within your reach right now. Sadhguru, one of the masters of this wisdom, shows us how it's possible to stop suffering and start living an extraordinary life through conscious choices. Curious to know how it works? Keep reading, because what you're about to discover could change everything. Pain, often seen as the villain, actually plays a vital role in keeping us safe. Think about when you accidentally touch something really hot. The immediate pain makes you pull your hand away, protecting your body from greater harm. This mechanism is essential for our survival. But suffering goes beyond this natural response. When we allow our mind to amplify pain through memories or fears about the future, we end up creating unnecessary discomfort. This is where conscious choices come into play, allowing us to transform pain into learning and growth. Sadhguru reminds us that suffering is a creation of the mind, a reality we can choose not to carry on. Think about past moments that still bring you pain. Holding on to these memories only keeps the suffering alive. Similarly, worrying about the future can paralyze us, stealing the happiness of the present. Once we realize that the mind has the power to expand pain, we can start letting go of that burden. By making conscious choices, we can direct our energy toward the human potential inside each of us, leading to a fuller and more satisfying life. Understanding the difference between pain and suffering also gives us practical tools to deal with everyday challenges. For example, when you're facing a tough situation at work, instead of drowning in suffering, you can focus on solutions and what you can learn from it. Not only does this relieve immediate suffering, but it also strengthens your human potential to face future challenges. Adopting this positive, proactive mindset is key to achieving lasting happiness and living in line with your true capabilities. The power of imagination and memory is a double-edged sword. On one hand, these are extraordinary abilities that set us apart from other living beings, allowing us to create, dream, and plan. But these same faculties can also be the source of great suffering. How many times have you found yourself reliving a painful event from the past, like a conversation that didn't go as you expected? That's memory at work, and when used unconsciously, it can trap us in an endless cycle of suffering. Imagination, too, can either bring happiness or anxiety. When we imagine successful scenarios and positive possibilities, we expand our human potential. But when we let our imagination fixate on fears and worries about the future, it can stop us in our tracks. It's a conscious choice to decide whether we'll use these faculties to promote our happiness or let them trap us in a constant state of suffering. The real secret lies in knowing when and how to use them to our advantage. Imagine this. You can use your memory to learn from past mistakes, and at the same time, use your imagination to visualize solutions to future challenges. This puts you in control instead of letting these powerful tools control you. Simple exercises like creative visualization can help channel your imagination to build the life you want, while mindfulness practices can bring your memory into the present, reducing suffering and increasing your ability to enjoy happiness right now. Human potential is limitless, and this is a truth that few truly understand. Unlike other living beings that follow a predetermined growth cycle, we have the ability to constantly reinvent ourselves, exploring new skills and expanding our boundaries. Sadhguru emphasizes that the only limit to our growth is how willing we are to make conscious choices. Every decision we make can either bring us closer to a full life or distance us from our true potential. And this applies to both big choices and the small, everyday ones. Imagine you decide to learn a new skill, like playing a musical instrument. At first, it may seem impossible, but as you dedicate yourself, your potential begins to grow. This logic can be applied to any area of life: career, relationships, or even personal development. When we're willing to make these conscious choices, we open the door to genuine happiness and ongoing self-improvement. The secret is realizing that there's no finish line. Growth is constant and infinite, and it depends entirely on how we explore our human capacity. Just like planting a tree requires patience and dedication, cultivating our potential also takes time and energy. Small daily steps, like reading a chapter of a personal development book or practicing meditation, can lead to significant changes over time. And the most powerful part of this is that you're the only one responsible for unlocking that potential. The choices you make today can radically transform who you'll be tomorrow, as long as you make the conscious decision to keep growing. Time, no matter how precious, is limited for all of us. No matter how much we want it, we can't stretch the hours of the day. But the real difference lies in how we manage our energy, because it's what allows us to accomplish more in less time. Sadhguru teaches us that by directing our life energies efficiently, we can achieve extraordinary results with the same resources as anyone else. It's a matter of consciously choosing where and how we invest our energy each day. Imagine you have an important project to deliver. We often waste a lot of time worrying or procrastinating instead of focusing on execution. This waste of energy costs us dearly. But when you learn to channel your energy into what truly matters, you become capable of completing tasks faster and with higher quality. Meditation, for instance, can be a powerful tool to manage and renew your energy, ensuring you have enough clarity and focus to tackle your daily challenges. At the end of the day, what determines your success isn't how many hours you worked, but how you used your energy. When you're aware of your vitality and direct it with purpose, productivity multiplies and fatigue decreases. This is the secret to achieving more in less time while preserving your happiness and well-being. The key is balancing your limited time with abundant, well-managed energy. Everything in nature operates in cycles. From the atoms that make up our bodies to the changing seasons, the physical universe follows an inevitable cyclic pattern. Sadhguru reminds us that human life also doesn't escape this dynamic. We have our own cycles, both physical and mental. However, unlike trees or planets, we have the ability to consciously free ourselves from the compulsion of these cycles. This means that although we're part of this natural movement, we can make conscious choices to avoid getting stuck in it automatically. Think about those times when you felt like you were living the same day over and over, the same routine, as if it were a never-ending cycle. That's the nature of compulsion. We do the same things, think the same thoughts, and experience the same feelings repeatedly. But here's the key. These cycles can be controlled. By becoming more aware of our habits and behaviors, we can break this pattern and free ourselves from this compulsive repetition. A good example is changing up your workout routine. Instead of always doing the same activities, try something new, like yoga or swimming, to renew your energy. Life, when lived consciously, expands beyond limiting cycles. Imagine, for example, breaking free from a mental cycle of negativity. By adopting conscious practices like daily gratitude or mindfulness, you can reprogram your mind to focus on the positive and create a new upward spiral of growth. That's the power of consciousness. It allows us to influence the direction of our cycles and, with that, achieve a level of happiness and fulfillment that would otherwise seem out of reach. Compulsion, that invisible force that makes us repeat patterns, thoughts, and actions, is an intrinsic part of our nature. Often, we act on autopilot, stuck in habits we don't even notice. Sadhguru points out that these compulsive patterns don't have to be an inevitable fate. In fact, by developing awareness, we can start observing these behaviors and consciously choose how we want to react. Our thoughts, emotions, and even our bodies are tools we can use effectively, as long as we know how to control them instead of being controlled by them. If we stop to analyze it, many of our daily actions stem from compulsion. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media for hours without even realizing how much time had passed? That's a clear example of how compulsion can take control. Through awareness, however, we can break this cycle. Practices like meditation and mindful breathing help us observe these impulses and gradually redirect our energy toward more productive and healthy activities. It's not about eliminating compulsion from life, but learning to use it to our advantage, turning it into a conscious drive. When we gain this clarity, the mind becomes a powerful ally in our growth journey. Think about how simply being aware of your emotions can transform a conflict into a learning opportunity. Once you recognize that you have control over your reactions, you free yourself from the cycle of compulsion and open up space for true growth. This creates an environment where human potential flourishes, paving the way for the continuous expansion of your capacities and happiness. Personal growth isn't a final destination, but a continuous journey. Often people think there's a peak to reach, as if everything will magically fall into place once they get there. Sadhguru reminds us that true growth happens when we become joyful people, free from the fear of suffering. This state of joy is the foundation that allows us to grow sustainably and consciously. When we let go of unnecessary worries and anxieties, we create space to explore our human potential in an unlimited way. Think about someone facing challenges in their career or a relationship. The natural tendency is to focus on the problem and often fall into a cycle of suffering. However, if that person changes their internal state, adopting an attitude of joy and lightness, the impact will be visible in every area of life. That's because growth happens from within. A practical example is developing an enjoyable hobby, like music or painting, which can not only bring happiness, but also unlock new forms of expression and creativity. Joy is the fuel that nurtures growth. By adopting a mindset focused on continuous growth, every small achievement turns into a stepping stone towards something greater. And this path has no limits. What stops us from expanding is the fear of suffering. But once we consciously choose to free ourselves from it, the path to growth becomes clear and smooth. It's like walking toward the horizon. The further you go, the more you realize there's always something new to explore, always a new version of yourself waiting to be discovered. Happiness, unlike what many believe, isn't just about external circumstances, but also about internal chemistry. Sadhguru explains that the human experience is deeply influenced by the body's chemistry. This means we can learn to control our happiness chemistry through conscious practices like proper nutrition, good sleep, and meditation. When we take care of our body and mind, we create an internal environment where happiness can flourish regardless of external circumstances. Imagine waking up every day feeling energized and ready to go, no longer at the mercy of unstable moods or negative emotions. This is possible when we adjust our internal chemistry. Small changes, like a diet rich in natural foods or daily exercise, can transform how we feel. Plus, the practice of daily gratitude is a powerful way to regulate brain chemistry, increasing dopamine and serotonin levels, the neurotransmitters that make us feel good. These simple, routine adjustments can make a big difference in your level of happiness and well-being. By becoming aware that we can control this chemistry, the power to transform our lives is in our hands. It's not just about reacting to what happens to us, but acting consciously to build a solid foundation of happiness. When we balance our internal chemistry, everything around us begins to align. The conscious choices we make every day, from what we eat to how we manage our time and energy, determine the level of happiness we experience. This is the key to unlocking our human potential in a full and authentic way. Have you ever stopped to think about how different your life could be if you applied this knowledge? The decision to live a full and happy life is in your hands, and the key is simple. Make conscious choices, manage your energy, and unlock your true potential. What are you waiting for to take this next step? The power to change your life is within you. How about starting right now? What changes can you make today to transform your reality? If you want to keep going on this path of growth and learning, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll make sure you don't miss out on any valuable content that can take your life to the next level. And don't miss our latest video. Discover the healing power of the mind. Sadhguru reveals the truth. This content will show you how your mind can be a powerful tool for transforming your life. Let's go on this journey of evolution together.